Just days after a Republican member of Florida's state legislature proposed legislation to make the Democratic Party illegal, another Republican state senator here in Florida came around to one-up him by proposing legislation that could eventually make it illegal to criticize Ron DeSantis, his administration, any member of his cabinet, or, of course, any member of the Florida state legislature. In fact, to a degree, his bill would make those kinds of things illegal unless, of course, you register with the state. And it's not just that you, as a blogger, not a member of a major media outlet, those people are exempt, but anyone else who writes anything about our administration down here in Florida or our legislature for a website, you will have to register with the state. If you fail to register with the state, you will be fined $25 per day, up to $2,500. You will be required under this legislation to submit a monthly report by the 10th of each month, showing which articles you wrote, who published them, and who paid you for those articles, and of course, how much you got paid for it. In other words, if you want to criticize Ron DeSantis, they want every piece of information available about who is paying you to criticize DeSantis or any other fascist Republican in this state. Because that is what this piece of legislation does. Let me read this. This is from Raw Story here. I also read through the full text of the bill. It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. Here it is. Senate Bill 1316. Information dissemination would mandate that writers register with the Florida Office of Legislative Services or the Commission on Ethics. It would apply to anyone who writes an article, a story, or a series of stories about the governor, the lieutenant governor, a cabinet officer, or any member of the legislature and is paid for doing so. They would have to register within a 5-day period by the publication of the article or stories. If the blogger writes about any one of those lawmakers again, the writer would be required to submit a monthly report on the 10th of every month with the state office. If no content is published that month, they wouldn't have to submit a report. This is full-blown fascism, right? Down here in Florida, especially with the other bill to make the Democratic Party illegal, we're not marching towards fascism. We're in it. Like, we've arrived. So no more of this talk of, oh, we're seeing the signs of fascism. No, we're living in it down here. This state is becoming dangerous. I mean, it's already been dangerous for the last year or so for women and members of the LGBTQ community and, of course, the black community. And now they're coming after the reporters who've been talking about those things. Those people are now under attack. And by the way, we already know Grant Stern and Thomas Kennedy have done a phenomenal job of reporting on this issue, that Ron DeSantis already keeps an enemies list of reporters here in the state of Florida. And that's what this would do. This is what this gives him the power to do, because now he'll get to see everybody. Maybe a couple of blog posts slipped under the cracks and he doesn't know that he's being criticized by certain people. Well, now it's going to be filed with the state. They will have their full enemies list. And I'll be on that too. It's pretty much what I do every day. It's only a matter of time before my profession down here in the state of Florida becomes illegal. I've lived here my whole life. I get questions from people all the time like, hey, things are getting bad. What's it going to take for you to leave? I'm there. Last night, after I first saw this story, I read it. I read through the PDF of the actual legislation. Then I got online and started searching for houses in other states. And that's not a lie. It's not an exaggeration. I talked to my wife about it. And it's on the horizon. I'm not going to stay here. You know, I've always told people, you know, liberals, you don't need to leave the red states. If you do, you're ceding the power. Unless, of course, I always added this caveat, if your livelihood or your life itself is under attack, then you got to get out. Well, I'm about to be in that group too. So are a hell of a lot of really great journalists in this state that have uncovered a lot of horrible things that Ron DeSantis and these Republicans have done. That's why they're coming after us. That's why they want their list. And it's only going to get worse from there. Hi, everyone. This here is little Athena. And Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.